Okay, so let's talk about the nervous system and how it's structured. So part of our nervous system, called the autonomic nervous system, is divided into two parts. There is our sympathetic nervous system, which is in charge of ensuring we survive a threat. So this is our emergency response system, the one that says fight or run, or if you can do nothing, just freeze. Some call it the fight or flight system. Okay, so that's one part. There's another part called the parasympathetic nervous system, and it is in charge of all the restorative functions in the body, the stuff that we don't consciously think about or feel we can control. So that involves how we digest our food, our sleep, our fertility, our sexual drive, our ability to have creative and complex ideas. That part of our nervous system, our restorative nervous system, is the other part. And these two parts, so this is our sympathetic fight or flight, and this is our parasympathetic nervous system. They work in tandem with each other. So if one is elevated, the other one is depressed, okay? So what we want to see is that the ideal scenario is that our fight or flight system is turned off most of the time. So our restore system, that parasympathetic nervous system, can be in functioning really, really well. Maximum state of function. And so this is when we are super healthy. Now, we live in the modern world. People are busy. We live in our heads. There's so many things going on. So for most people, this is not completely off. It's elevated somewhat, and this is kind of like that. But the more this increases, the more this comes down. And you know what we're designed to do, it sounds like this might be a faulty system, but what this is designed to be off most of the time, and this elevated, and that when the threat is over, even if it comes up to here, it comes back down again. With other creatures on the planet that don't have the capacity for imagination, this is what happens. So imagine, you know, many of us have seen these shows with the creatures and, you know, different animals in the Sahara, all right, or on the plains, and the zebra is hanging out with the other zebras, and all of a sudden the lion appears, and they all take off and they run and they escape, let's say. And when they stop, when the threat is done, you see kind of like they shake off the adrenaline. And not too long after that, they go back to hanging out with their buddies and munching on the grass, and their nervous system is regulating to be present in that moment of having escaped the threat. These creatures don't have the capacity to be remembering, like, oh my goodness, did you see what happened? Oh my gosh, that was so close. You know, and they don't have the capacity to keep it going in that way by thinking about it again. Nor do they have the capacity to be saying or thinking, oh my God, is that it? Is that it? Could it come again? When's it coming again? And they don't have that ability, but we do. We have this incredibly complex mind that can look to the past, relive what happened, or project to the future for the next time. And the thing about that is that your nervous system does not know the difference between what's actually happening and what is happening just in our minds. The thought, the perception sets off the same chain reaction of stress. And when this is happening, when it's happening in the mind, but there's no physical outlet, there's a dysregulation that happens. Your nervous system hates this, hates it. So imagine you're sitting here thinking about the threat and you're not physically doing anything. You're just sitting. It's a state of confusion. And it keeps, there's no feedback from the actual situation to turn that off, to turn that emergency system off. And so we stay in this place. We can just, with our minds, tell the body we're in emergency and this is coming down. Okay?